Hello everyone, we have Edwin on the test server right now. Edwin is a Graveborn hero, also going to be a strength-based hero as well, with the class being a tank and our primary role also being a tank, so hoping to see some tanking from Edwin here. Let's start with the ultimate skill, Liege Lord. Has a passive here. At the start of battle, Edwin creates a Dominion that follows him around the battlefield. Allied heroes within a Dominion take 70% less normal attack damage, and the active ability for this ultimate skill, Edwin damages enemies in front of him for 250% of his attack rating 4 times. He then creates a large temporary Dominion in the area with the most allied heroes for 12 seconds and damages enemies within the new Dominion for 300% of his attack rating. This temporary Dominion has the same effect as the regular Dominion, but their effects do not stack with one another. Edwin is immune to control effects while casting a skill. If this skill is used again while there is already a temporary Dominion on the battlefield, it will be replaced by a new temporary Dominion. And allied heroes within the Dominion take 80% less normal attack damage, and level 3 allied heroes within a Dominion deal 35% extra damage. So that's quite a bit of damage to take away, but it's only the normal attack damage that's being taken away here. And also quite a bit of damage as well. 250% of his attack rating 4 times he deals to enemies in front of him. And also creates a large Dominion here for 12 seconds. And then the enemies within that also take damage as well. So overall, it sounds like a lot of damage, and also a lot of damage being taken away, a lot of damage being dealt, and a lot of damage being taken away here. Just remember that's only the normal attack damage that's being taken away from allied heroes. Okay, the second skill, Disarming Flurry. Edwin slashes enemies in front of him 3 times. The first 2 slashes each deal damage for 230% of his attack rating. The final slash deals damage for 260% of his attack rating. If an enemy is within one of Edwin's dominions, the final slash will also silence them for 2 seconds and reduce their defense rating by 30% for 5 seconds. If this skill is interrupted by a Rebel's Reprisal before the final slash, the latter skill will also silence and reduce the defense rating of enemies within a dominion in the same manner as the final slash. And level 2, the duration of the final slash defense rating reduction is extended to 6 seconds. Each of the first 2 slashes now deal 260% of Edwin's attack rating, while the final slash now deals damage for 290% of his attack rating. And level 4, the duration of the final slash silencing effect is extended to 3 seconds. So this one again, doing quite a bit of damage here. Yeah, doing 230%. For the first 2 slashes, and then the final slash dealing 260%. Enemies within one of Edwin's dominions, they will be silenced, and also their defense rating will be reduced by 30% for 5 seconds. It's also talking about Rebel's Reprisal, which I don't think we've really looked at yet. So I'm guessing one of these 2 skills might be Rebel's Reprisal. Okay, let's move on to the third skill. Yep, this is the skill Rebel's Reprisal. Every 5 times his dominions reduce normal attack damage, Edwin will counterattack nearby enemies, damaging them for 230% of his attack rating. These counterattacks will interrupt Edwin's normal attacks and his Disarming Flurry skill, but if a counterattack is triggered while he is using his ultimate, it will be launched after the ultimate ends. If there are no enemies around Edwin when he triggers a counterattack, it will be stored until there are enemies around him. He can store up to 3 counterattacks. And every 4 times his dominions reduce normal attack damage, Edwin will counterattack nearby enemies. Increases the counterattack damage to 250% of Edwin's attack rating. And then we have the first Engraving skill here. Whenever Edwin takes skill damage, he will be immune to this damage and become invulnerable for 3 seconds and triggers a counterattack. This effect can be triggered up to 1 time every 8 seconds. So reducing When the dominions reduce normal attack damage every 5 times, it reduces normal attack damage. Edwin will counterattack enemies here doing damage. And he can store counterattacks when there are no enemies around. He can store up to 3 counterattacks, so very cool. I'm wondering if he stores counterattacks, if he will just do all 3 counterattacks simultaneously when he comes across an enemy hero. That'd be pretty. That should be pretty interesting to see if he uses all of them at once, or if he just uses them one at a time. That's something to see there. And the final skill, Royal Favor. This is a passive ability. Whenever an allied hero within a dominion takes a single round of damage that exceeds 10% of their max health, the attacker is silenced for 2.5 seconds. This effect can only be triggered up to 1 time every 10 seconds against each attacker. And level 2, the duration of the silencing effect is extended to 3.5 seconds, and this effect can now be triggered up to 1 time every 8 seconds against each attacker. And whenever an allied hero within a dominion takes normal attack damage, they recover 15 energy. Each allied hero can recover up to 150 energy from this effect per battle. And the second engraving skill, whenever an allied hero within a dominion takes normal attack damage, they recover 30 energy. Each allied hero can recover up to 300 energy from this effect per battle, while Edwin can recover up to 2,000 energy in the same manner. So this engraving skill, this one sounds very powerful. The allied heroes here get energy, get 300 energy per battle, and then Edwin can get up to 2,000 energy per battle here. So Edwin can get I believe that's 2 free ultimate skill usage there for Edwin. Also doing some silencing. This skill does a little bit of silencing here, so that sounds pretty nice. Okay, that's the skills there. Let's look at the signature item here. Trader's Vengeance. When you unlock this signature item, 30% of the normal attack damage reduced by Edwin's dominions will be stored and used to increase the damage of his next Rebel's Reprisal counterattack, up to 120% of Edwin's attack rating. Plus 10, 60% of the normal attack damage reduced by Edwin's dominions will be stored and used to increase the damage of his next Rebel's Reprisal counterattack, up to 240% here. And plus 20, the damage of Edwin's ultimate increases by 20% each time a Rebel's Reprisal counterattack is triggered, so doing even more damage with the ultimate there. And the plus 30, Rebel's Reprisal counterattacks deal extra damage equal to 10% of the enemy's max health, up to 800% of Edwin's attack rating. So this plus 30 sounds pretty good, increasing the damage that the counterattacks do equal to 10% of the enemy's max health. So if the enemy has a lot of health, a lot of max health there, that could be quite a bit of extra damage there. So this ultimate ability sounds pretty good. Let's move on to the furniture. Sphere of Dominance. The 3 of 3, the radius of Edwin's dominions is increased to 115% of their original radius. So just increasing it by, it's not that much. I don't think it's going to be that much, but it's still increasing the radius of it, so that's still good. And 9 of 9, when an allied hero within a dominion takes normal attack damage, the attacker loses 100 energy. This effect can only be triggered up to 1 time every 1.5 seconds against each attacker. So the enemy will lose energy with the 9 of 9. That sounds very powerful. Hopefully stopping the enemies from doing their ultimate ability, which is very nice. Yeah, and also is triggered once every 1.5 seconds. So I believe that's pretty fast. I believe that's pretty fast, in my opinion, to have the enemies lose that much energy every 1.5 seconds. That sounds very good. And let's go ahead and move on to the Arena of Trials. I just want to go ahead and test them out here with the Wooden Dummy and the Arena Guardian. Okay, I'm going to start off by going into the Wooden Dummy here. I just want to go ahead and take a look at the skills, see how the skills look here, and see just how much damage they do to these basic enemies. I'm going to turn down the battle speed as well so I can see this here. Runs into battle here, has a little, I believe that's the Dominion that's following him. And there we go, and the allies in the Dominion there, taking less damage. Yeah, it looks like there's the big Dominion, it looks like the big temporary Dominion, and it looks like he has one that follows him around. So having your allies very close to Edwin here sounds like a good thing. Yeah, if you have your allied heroes move with Edwin, if you can somehow make that happen, that sounds like a very good thing. Yeah, and that temporary Dominion also there, pretty big as well. That temporary Dominion is pretty big. Yeah, so overall, looks like he's doing quite a bit of damage, helping the allied hero here, your one allied hero that you get for the wooden dummy. Let's go ahead and move on to the Arena Guardian, see what heroes we get for the Arena Guardian. Okay, this is the team that I'll be using. I'm going to have Palmer and Merlin for support. In the backline here, I'm going to put Cecilia against Celia here, just so like that will just counteract with each other and balance out there. And I have Arthur to sort of protect Merlin and Palmer there in the front line. Okay, we got the victory there. Everyone stayed alive, so which is very nice. Edwin doing a lot of damage here. So very nice to see Edwin doing that damage. At the very end, the Dominion pretty much covered everybody on my team, so that was very nice at the very end for everyone to get that, to take less damage there. Yeah, keeping all your allies together, like I said, I think would be sort of the best option for Edwin. And overall, Edwin sounds like a very good hero. Sounds like he could be used a lot. So hopefully we get to see some testing, get to see some good results from Edwin. Hey, if you made this far into the video and haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe. And if you want to watch my newest video, check out the video that's on screen now. And thanks for watching.